Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of Tech Pop Boom with your hosts, Scott and Brandon. I'm Scott.
And I'm Brandon.
Today we have some good news. It's been a couple weeks since we have done a podcast, but since the last podcast, we are officially now available on iTunes. So if you haven't done so already, please go to iTunes, search for our website, our podcast, and hit the subscribe button. Anytime we have a new episode available, it'll automatically show up in your iPod feed, your podcast app, and all you have to do is just click listen and enjoy. As well as iTunes, we're also available on YouTube. Go to YouTube, you go into the search bar, search for Tech Pop Boom, and you'll find us. Same thing for Facebook and Google+. Just do a search for the name, again, Tech Pop Boom, and we're there. Please feel free to comment. Any feedback would be great. If you like the show, if you hate the show, if you want to tell me how much you hate me, how much you love me, how much you hate whatever, if it's something we can improve, let us know. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and start. In case you're new to the show, what we typically do is we just Brandon goes through he finds some things online that are interesting to him tech-wise, and he'll read a little bit of the article and just comment on it, and I'm more or less color commentary. After Brandon's done with his segment, I'll typically talk about whatever music or pop culture, streaming video, whatever's on my mind. And we just go with it. There's no really set thing. Whatever interests us, whatever we want to talk about, but it's typically technology, gadgets, music, and TV movies. So, with all that, Brandon, what's on your mind?
Wow. Let's see. Yes, we're on iTunes, of course, which that's pretty good finally. I guess I can start off with just talking about my Apple. For those of you who have not listened, or have listened but have not, are not very familiar with the show, about my part is, I might come out as like an Apple hater. And I'm really not
I wonder where people get that idea from.
I'm not. Okay. I'm going to explain my position, because now we're on iTunes, which is all Apple people.
Yes, it would.
So, no. I don't mind Apple. I think they make very good stuff. I'm not gonna lie. They make great hardware. Without Steve Jobs.
For anyone wondering that noise you hear in the background, that's Brandon backpedaling.
No, I'm not backpedaling. I'm just explaining I'm just trying not to get a whole bunch of Apple people hating my guts after they listen to the previous shows. Okay? Because I think,
you're so funny.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I know that their
iTunes
is an Apple thing, and we are on iTunes. So
yes,
I know. So when I start dissing their product that they love so much, because there are now a whole bunch of Apple fanboys out there because they have Apple products, I'm trying to say, hey, I know why you got that iPhone and that iPad that you're listening to us on your iTunes, but I just don't like how they do things. I mean, I'm a critic. I'm just a critic of technology, and I have my opinions of Apple. Some things are good, some things are bad. Someone asked me maybe like I don't know, maybe like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It was my mom actually who asked me. Who said, hey, she was looking at her iPhone because she has my old iPhone. Yes, Apple people, I had an iPhone. For those of you who have not listened to previous shows. And my mom said, oh, would you ever get another iPhone? And I said, oh, no, hell no. And then she had asked, what would make you get one? And I said, I had to sit here and think about this. And you know what? You know what make me get an iPhone?
What's that?
I think if it was more open like Android.
Oh, that won't happen.
Yeah, that won't happen. But I know it won't happen. But if it was more open like Android, if it was like where I could customize it the way the hell out of that phone, I think I would go. I think I would get it. I think I would get an iPhone.
You know what, Brian? I take that back. You can do that with an Apple phone. The problem is you have to jailbreak it in order to do it.
Yes, and then void my warranty. And then when I want to, if I ever needed to go to the iStore and get it fixed, they're going to know it's jailbreaked. or jailbroken.
Right. Well, yeah.
So I mean, there we go. I mean, I got to admit, without Steve Jobs, we wouldn't have the phones we would have today. I mean, without the iPhone, Android wouldn't have existed. Android would have been like a BlackBerry. You know, it wouldn't have a touch screen. You know, we wouldn't have the iPad. So, yes, I mean, I come down as I really hate them and I'm crazy hate them. But, I mean, I don't crazy hate them. I'm just a critic.
You know why it probably seems that way, in all honesty, Brandon? It probably seems that way because you've actually said those words several times on 8 episodes. So if it sounds that way, it's probably because you said it out loud.
I never said I truly hate them and I wish they would die. No, I didn't say anything like that.
This is where we're going to stop, do a little editing, and go back to episode 2 at exactly 38 minutes, 24 seconds, where you literally said, I hate Apple.
Well,
blah, blah, blah.
yeah, well, no, I didn't. Well, anyway, okay, yeah. Well, okay, so I just wanted to get that out, okay, to our new fans, okay. Right. So I guess I'll start with my stories. So here's my tech stories.
All right.
This article kind of surprised me when I read the headline. Did you know that more than 2 million people still use dial-up?
No, I thought you mentioned this before in the past, and that surprises me.
I am in shock because how can they use dial-up? I mean, people are still paying for AOL dial-up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm just sitting here and I'm going, most websites are not even going to load. So how the hell on a kilobit modem are they using the internet? It just shocked me. I was like, does dial-up still exist? Does anyone still have a landline phone? You know?
Yeah, really. Yeah, really. That's funny.
I mean, that's just funny. It's just, but there's this article I was reading. It was off of CNET. Was talking about how 2.5 million people are still use dial-up, and that they need a broadband for the rural areas and stuff like that. So so I was just reading that article and I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this on Tech Pop Boom because it just shocked me. I mean,
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
But my next story is amazing story. Another one that I kind of fell off my seat. Did you know that Windows 10 may be the last one that Microsoft does?
So you're saying Windows 10, so from this point forward, that'll be the last and only one?
It'll be the last. It might be. It might be the last one they might do. And
that doesn't make sense. So that means any updates and all that, they'll just continue to call it Windows 10?
They're gonna make it like Google Chrome. Chrome OS and Apple, I think, does that. Where it continuously updates. See, that's why I love my Chromebook. I was going to save this argument until Windows 10 came out to explain why I like Windows 10, why I'm not a Microsoft fan, why I kind of think that Windows is obsolete. I mean, if Windows 10 wouldn't have been free, I don't think I'd be getting another Windows 10 PC. I think I would go totally Chrome. I mean, I would get Chrome OS because I like how where it's constantly changing. Like there is no version, there is no Windows 7. There is no Chrome OS 7, Chrome OS 8.
I think the Chrome sounds. Granted, I don't have it. I've seen yours, but I haven't seen it that much. I don't really know enough about it to really form an opinion, but I'm going to anyways because I have a podcast and I can do that.
Yes, you can.
The Chromebook, to me, it seems too limiting. I mean, I don't have it again, but it just I rather have all the options that I need as opposed with the Chromecast. Just seems like I say, just have limitations.
Well, what limitations? I mean, what would you need? What do you do on your PC?
Again, I don't have it, so I can't say at the top of my head. But it just seems like there's. Didn't you say that you're in your own little world with the Chromecast?
I mean, it is, but I can still print. I can use the cloud print. I can still go to my printer. I can still browse. I can still do YouTube. I can do Hangouts. I mean, you can't do Skype. Okay, okay. If you want Skype, then you'll have to. But Skype's coming out with a web version soon, so I'll be able to Skype, which I don't use Skype anyway. I am in the Google ecosystem, but Apple has the same thing with their iMessage and iStuff and like that. So,
well, I guess I'd have to see it, but it just seems like I've always had a Windows, so I guess I feel more comfortable with Windows. But that being said, I haven't played enough with the Chromecast to really form a solid opinion. I'm just going to judge because I don't know enough about it. So I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, even though I don't.
But I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about the name of this. Okay, Windows 10. If it's going to be the last operating system, okay, that they're coming out with, shouldn't they pick a different name? I mean, I would think Windows 10 would be. I think they should have named it something else if this is going to be the last one. I think it should have been like, I don't know. Let me think of a good name. Evergreen. Okay. Windows Evergreen. Because it never, ever turns brown. I mean, it will never, ever, ever be out of date. So Evergreen or Windows Forever, I mean, or something.
I thought they did. I thought they did come up with a different name for it.
No. It's Windows 10.
Oh no, I'm thinking about the browser. They
the browser. Yeah. Oh, speaking of browser, in there in Windows 10, they have a new browser called Edge. They're getting rid of Internet Explorer.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Windows. They're getting rid of Internet Explorer and Edge. And I looked at the video. I'll post it on our Facebook page and everything else that we're on. But I kind of like it. I think I would use it. But the only thing is I've been burnt so much by Internet Explorer. I'm afraid to try it. I'm afraid to move out of that ecosystem to theirs back into theirs because they burned me so badly in the past with somebody who's had the internet forever. I mean,
when is all this supposed to be available? When is Windows 10 supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be in the summer.
Oh, it is.
Yes, okay. It's very soon. I mean, I think the last build was the last beta build. I think was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I think there was a big story or something on that.
Wow.
But yeah, it's supposed to be out. But I'm just curious to see how they're going to do this whole entire free thing. I mean, everyone. I know that they're going to use torrents, but I know everybody and their moms and grandmas is going to be on that trying to get Windows 10 at the same time. I think they're going to crash the internet.
Well, only because it's only going to be available did you say it's only available for like a year or something?
For a year, yeah.
Yeah, so at first, that's what it's something with Apple. Like whenever Apple comes out with an update for like one of their operating systems, iOS 8 or whatever it is, like the first couple of days, if you try and download it, I mean, Jesus, you'll grow a freaking beard trying to get it to load. So yeah, I mean, I think at first it'll be nuts. It's going to tie up the internet, but if you wait it out, I'm sure it'll be fine. But I don't know that I'm going to actually download it or not. I mean, I would love to have it, but I would have one desktop in the house, and my wife uses it for her work.
Okay.
And she is computer illiterate. I mean, to the max. So she doesn't understand the operating system I currently have, which is Windows 7.
Okay.
So if I were to make a change to Windows 10, she would just go absolutely nuts.
Windows 10 is supposed to look like Windows 7.
Yeah, I know that, you know that, but my wife, again, she's computer illiterate. She just doesn't get it.
Okay. Because I will download it. I mean, I'm going to make a day of it. I will be the first I could download the preview build if I wanted to, really, but I just don't want to do it, really. So I'm just kind of like, I think I'll wait until the real version comes out,
Yeah.
So, that is really it. I just wanted to also talk about, but I'll wait till the end, about the YouTube channel and the feed and stuff, and that if you were just subscribing to our feed before and all of a sudden you saw that our podcasts were gone, the reason why is because somehow they were disappeared when I went to iTunes, so I had to reload them all. So I know if some people are like, wait, why is these working? Well, just delete them and reload it, and all of our episodes will pop back together. And also about the iTunes thing, I just thought about. Yeah, our somehow in on our feed, the podcasts are in order. Okay, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, whatever episode. But on iTunes, it seems to be out of order. No matter what I do, it's out of order still.
So in other words, there is an actual link you can click on. So for people who don't, the way this works is with podcasts. In case for people who don't know. There's different ways to subscribe to podcasts. If you actually use the iTunes app, you can just go to their library and type up or actually any app. You can type in the name of our show and it'll appear right there, and you can hit the subscribe button. But there's an alternative way to do it. If you go to our website, there's techpopboom.com, which I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. You go to our website, you go to our Facebook page, our Google Plus page. There's an actual link, www. whatever. You copy and paste that link into your podcast app, and it does the exact same thing. But that was the only way we could get our podcast up until we got accepted through iTunes. So there's just different ways you can do it. That's what Brandon's talking about.
It's actually, that link goes to iTunes. It's kind of like having, I don't know, like you get the main feed, that's us, and then you get the affiliate feed, which is iTunes, So I don't know how long, when I post this, I don't know how long it takes for it to upload to iTunes. But if you have that feed, that www.feedburner/techpopboom, you're going to get it instantly.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a difference. So I guess we'll have to wait and find out how long it'll take.
Yeah, how long? Yeah, it takes a second because I don't know. I think it takes about a couple of hours to where if you had the feed, the direct line feed, you would get it the minute I posted.
We definitely noticed the difference because we were originally the podcast was on what was it called?
SoundCloud.
It was on SoundCloud, and it was pretty quick. Well, now that we switched to YouTube, there was a big delay, which is fine. It just took maybe an extra day, but
it takes an
extra day. There was definitely a delay, but it's worth it because more people go to YouTube than they go to the other one. So
I have to edit and render video too, so there's also the video part. The YouTube actually takes a little longer for me to do. I mean, it's so. Yeah, and then it takes longer for it to upload and longer for all that crap. So, yeah.
As an incentive, I don't mean to catch up, but as an incentive on the YouTube channel, if you go to the YouTube channel and you listen to this entire episode, at the very, very end, and you can't fast forward because that's cheating, but at the very, very end of the video, you'll see an actual video of Brandon dancing to Diana Ross.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. There are no videos.
So it really is worth your while to go to YouTube, listen to this latest episode, and watch Brandon do his dance because it is something to see.
I am not dancing. No.
If you don't see it there, then please make a comment on the Facebook page and let us know, and then we'll make that happen.
Yeah, right. Well, think about Scott will be dancing with me, if anything else.
No, it was Brandon. People would rather see Brandon dance.
No, I'm not dancing. No. But that's really I just wanted to mention that. If I think of anything else after Scott's, I'll say it at the end. So.
Well, I don't have much. There's a band I wanted to mention. I'm just a huge fan of a band called the Wild Hearts. The Wild Hearts, they were a British rock band, just a heavy rock band. And this band, they're called the Eureka Machines. They're also a British pop rock type of band. They're based out of Leeds, West Yorkshire, wherever that's at. I'm not really sure myself. But the guitar player / singer, his name is Chris Catalyst. He was also in a band called the Sisters of Mercy. And the goddamn horse, apparently. He was the touring guitar player for Ginger Wildheart. Ginger Wildheart is a singer of the Wild Hearts. Anyway, Chris Catalyst is in the Eureka Machines, and they just released an album on Pledge Music. The new album is called Brainwaves. I've listened to it just real quick, but it's just a really good album. If anyone out there just loves new music, I'm a big fan of rock music. If anyone just likes discovering new music, check out Eureka Machines. They're available on Spotify, I don't know for sure that they're on iTunes. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they are on iTunes. So if you get your music through iTunes, you can check it out there. But check out Eureka Machines. The new album is called Brainwaves. Good stuff. Besides that, I was going to ask you, Brandon, are you watching that show Orphan Black?
You know what? I watched the first episode, and it's on. You know, I have it over at my mom's house because I'm a cord cutter, so the DVR is kind of recording them all. So I was gonna go watch them today, the rest of them, but I only got to the first episode and I thought it was confusing. I actually that's why I think I'm not in a rush to watch it.
Well, I haven't watched it at all because I watched the entire last season, and after every episode I thought to myself, why am I watching this show? The first season I really liked a lot, and the second season, I tell you, it just totally lost me. And it was the first show I really sang its praises and I told everyone about it, but the second season it just totally lost my attention. So that's why I was waiting for your opinion on the third season on whether or not I should even watch it. So I'm going to wait until I hear from you before I go any further. So
I'll watch it today. I watch the rest of them. I'll get caught up and I'll tell you. But the first episode. I was just scratching my head because I was like, okay, I know where it ended off, and I mean, I don't want to. Should I spoil it for anybody or not?
You know what? I mean, for all the 3 people listening, you might as well. But I don't even remember myself.
Okay, at the very end, you find out there is men clones too. You know, I mean, so.
Oh, that's right. At
the very end, there's this crazy one, and then you find out. Okay, so at the beginning of this one, I mean, now you get to see how the men are going, you know, how the clone and how they all started, because the women was Diatech. I mean, the women were Diatech and the men were the army, so or the military. So and then it just got confusing because I think the way they started it off, I think just because you had to sit there and I had to remember that because what I did was I had to go back and watch the very last episode of the season 2 to go, okay, now I'm getting it. But then, I had to, so I'm letting them collect because I don't like a pause, like to wait until next week and wait until next week and then wait until next week after that. I like to have them all there so I can power watch them all. So I can go, okay, cool. Yeah, because it feels like I get the story, just like Game of Thrones. Okay, as I was going to ask you about Game of Thrones in a second, but like Game of Thrones, I watched the whole, I had never even seen it, but so happily I got Chromecast. And then I went, well, I have my HBO app. I had my HBO Go for a long time. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll start with Game of Thrones. Okay, I'm going to see what everyone's saying about this. Okay, so I power watched the entire thing one by one. I mean, I was like going, okay. Now that we're at to where I'm watching it with everyone else, I'm kind of going, man, I think it's too slow for me.
It's funny because I agree with that. It's true. When you watch a show back to back to back, you're constantly being entertained. There's something always happening. But when you have to wait an entire week to watch an hour of a show that you really like, it's hard. And then once that show ends, I mean, you have to wait another year before you watch another 10 or 13 episodes. So I agree. To me, it does seem like it's dragging. It does seem slow. But that's not to say the show is bad or it's lost anything. I think the last few episodes, they're good. They're just the way Game of Thrones typically works is it just kind of it slowly progresses. I mean, the season to me it seems like they always kind of start off slow, but they end big. Yeah, typically, Yeah. So I think right now I think they're on episode 5. So I would imagine from here on out it'll probably start to get, not that it isn't, but it's going to get even more exciting. I would imagine. I talked to a guy. There's a guy at work here who read the book. And I have no patience. If something, I have to know what happens. I hate surprises of any kind. So I said, listen, tell me what happens. And they tell me what happens. So if what happens in the book happens on the show, it's going to be really sweet.
Okay. See, like me, I don't want to know what happened. I want to be surprised. So I'd rather not know. But it's like, the last episode from this podcast. Okay, so, which I don't know. What was the last episode? 5 or 6 was the last one?
I don't know. I'm usually drunk when we do these things.
Oh, okay. So, episode, yeah, that's true. But episode, so that was pretty good. I didn't mind that too much. I mean, that episode was creepy, but good.
Are you talking about our podcast, or what are you talking about?
No, I was talking about episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Last episode. Oh, you thought I was talking about our podcast being creepy.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, Game of Thrones was good. It was, last week was Game of Thrones was shocking. That like the very ending episode. The thing about the Stark family is, I don't. It's not even the Stark family. Just that show in general. I just wish one week they had an episode where things just went right. You know, something positive, or someone who got revenge on someone who did someone else wrong. You know, something. And I know it's not a happy show, but my God, can't something positive happen for the Stark family? The father died, the mother died, the brother died. You know,
oh, that was
brother,
awesome.
You know, he can't walk. It's just, my God.
That was my favorite episode of that. When they were at the dinner and they were gonna get, and they were like and then she realizes, right? I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but she realizes, oh my God, we're being set up.
World,
I was like, yes,
it's a great show. It's a great show. Man, it seems like it's moving slow, but that's one because we love it so much.
Yes, that episode made me go, okay, I like Game of Thrones. Because at that point, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on with these. Okay, but that episode, when I saw that, I went, okay, I get it now. I went, oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, back to Orphan Black. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to collect, and then I'm gonna watch them. Like, I'm going to catch up and then let them collect again, you know, on my mom's DVR player, because, you know, I'm a cord cutter, so I technically don't have cable unless, you know, they come up with BBC comes up with an app, then I can watch it on Chromecast. But,
with the new Apple TV, since you're a new Apple fanboy, they're supposed to be announcing a new Apple TV next month in June, and they're supposed to have an app store. So I don't know if that means every. I'm hoping that means every app is available, because I would love to have an Apple TV with Amazon Prime. If if iTunes comes out with an Apple TV that has an app for Amazon Prime, I'm buying it.
So what makes that different than a Chromecast?
The Apple TV?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have an Apple TV, but what I have right now in my house, I have an iPhone, an iPod Touch, an iPad, and an iPad Mini. And my wife has an iPhone, so the entire house is all Apple products.
Yeah, Apple fanboy.
I also have Microsoft desktop and laptop. Actually, my laptop isn't Microsoft anymore. It's what is it?
It is Linux.
It's Linux. Okay, so I have a little bit of everything except for Mac. Well, that's not true. My iPad is a Mac. Anyways, so I have pretty much a little bit of everything. But with the Apple TV, my son, for example, if he watches Netflix, if he watches YouTube, it's just if he wants to, bounce from whatever he's watching on his iPad to the TV, he can just hit a button and boom, there it goes. Everything is just built. It's just one big happy family. I'd love just to have everything talk to each other. I want to have it as simple as possible, because, again, my wife has a hard time understanding this stuff. For me, it's easy, but if I could just have everything as simple as possible for her sake, it would be worth it. For me, it sounds like the Apple TV would be the easiest way possible for her.
Okay, so you just want the ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. They keep talking about an app store on the Apple TV, and that sounds awesome. I can just go to the store and download, again, whatever channel I want to. I want ABC, boom, there it is. If I want Prime, boom, there it is. If that's the case, because a lot of these apps, they may not be available. I don't know. It hasn't been announced yet. Right now, it's just a rumor. But I like the idea of downloading whatever apps you want. That sounds cool. I could care less about the games. I could give two shits about a game, but if I could download different channels, that'd be sweet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love my Chromecast. I got that whole ecosystem thing. I was the Amazon ecosystem, but Google might have converted me over. So,
I like my Roku. I have a Roku streaming stick, and I love that too. There's so much available, and plus it comes with its own remote control. Yeah, I like this. If it were up to me, I would probably just do all Roku. I think it'd be easier for her to have an iPhone.
I do. I just looked at our Tech Pop Boom Facebook. iPhone 5C stops a bullet. What did you post?
Yeah. You may want to read that one.
Wait. Okay. Let me see this, because I was just like, whoa, wait. So so you're telling me Apple iPhones save lives?
It's true. It's in black and white. It's got to be true. If
I
it's
see
posted
it.
if it's posted on Tech Pop Boom, it has to be
It has
true.
to be true. It has to be true. No, there's even a picture.
Yeah.
iPhone. Well, damn, I might have to get an iPhone 5C.
My wife has one of those.
Oh, so it's a bulletproof vest now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me see here. A tech absorbent force of bomb explosion preventing. Oh, wow. Okay. I won't read it all for you guys. I'll just say, hey, you know what? Go to Tech Pop Boom. Scott posted it. But I also post things on Tech Pop Boom too. To go back to it, that I just stories that throughout the week that I see that are like, oh wow, okay, here like about like why password questionnaires are not very good. What is Android? And about here I'm going to ask you this. Okay, on iPhone the 6S features list. What do you think will be on the next iPhone?
A new iPhone?
Yeah, the 6S.
Is there rumors as to what is going to be on there? Or
yeah, there is. Let me see here, because let me click on my art. I posted on Tech Pop Boom like about maybe a week ago. Here, hold on for a second. Okay, so they're talking about an iHome.
Oh yeah,
Makes you like have a.
So it communicates, so that way there's those new gadgets that you can plug on the wall, and you can operate your lights or your appliances with your mobile device.
Right.
And I'm sure there's more to it that I don't know about. As far as what I would add to it, I mean, at this point, what could you possibly add? The one thing I would change to it and call it a day is make it to where you can put in an SD card. So that way, and also get rid of the 16 gig. The 16 gig is a slap in the face. 16 gig anything. Don't make a phone with only 16 gigs. I mean, start off with at least 32 to 64.
Yeah, most phones are 32 or 64.
Well, not Apple. Apple starts off with 16 and they go to 32. And even the Samsung's changed. The Samsung does the exact same thing, so there's no way in hell Apple would ever do that since Samsung, they went back, they're copying off Apple now. I just, if they're not going to, let people add memory to it, then make the memory more, because 60 gig is not cutting it.
Yeah, that's what I like about my HTC One, because they had the memory slot. I have a 32 gigabyte card in here. I mean,
yeah, that's cool.
But you know why they don't do that though? Here's my whole Apple thing. Why I don't like how they do things, because they're getting more money off of the amount of memory they have in your phone. So if people they're charging $100 more for every upgrade. So let's say 16 gigabytes and then 32 gigabytes are like $100 difference. And if you want a 64, it's $200 difference from the cheaper one. So they sell. I mean, they're making money off of the whole entire memory thing.
But they can still upgrade the different kinds of just get rid of the 16. Start at 32, and then go to 64, then go to 128, or start at 64 and then go to whatever.
Yeah, that's what they. I'm
just saying, 16. Just get rid of this. My thing is the 16 gig. Get rid of the 16. Start off with at least a minimum of 32, if not 64.
Do you have a 16?
Unfortunately, I do. That's why I use.
That's why you're saying okay. But yeah, no, I would have, because on my phone, my mom's phone that used to be my phone, I had a 32, but it was $100 difference between the 16 and 32, and I'm like, you know what, 16 is not going to cut it. Even in an iPhone 4, I mean, this was years ago, iPhone 4S. And I said, no, I got to go see. I'll pay the $100 difference. But people would go, wait, you got $100 to spend? Yeah, well, because there was no way to. At that time, you didn't have iCloud. I think iCloud was new. You didn't have a memory slot, so yeah, I had to go 60. I had to go 32. So but I just thought about asking you that question. What would you like? You know what they should add on the iPhone 6S?
What's that?
Is you guys have NFC, but you guys don't have. You don't have true NFC.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, or I can share things with people's phone. I can do that. I can, if you had an Android phone, I could use Android Beam and beam over a website or whatever I'm looking at on my phone jumps on your phone. That kind of stuff. You guys have NFC. You guys just don't have NFC.
Actually, my credit union doesn't use it. It doesn't use Apple Pay, so I still can't use it.
You still can't. Yeah, you still can't use it. Where I just feel like you guys are getting ripped off. I mean, they have the chip in there. They can just enable it to make it.
Well, I'm sure they're holding back on purpose, so that way they'll have something to announce on the next iPhone. If they release everything right now, then they have nothing to announce a year from now. They release these things so often that it's like they need to have something big for the next time. So I'm sure it's coming. It's just it'll be the next big thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, I meant to ask you this about you. You post this on Tech Pop Boom too. Black Mirror is coming to be a Netflix exclusive?
That's what that article said. Right now, if you go to Netflix and you look at the show called Black Mirror, it's a show in Europe on the BBC, and there's 2 seasons, 3 episodes per season. There's also a Christmas special, which I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, me neither.
The Christmas special is not on Netflix, as far as I know. But that article is saying that that show may possibly be a Netflix exclusive, which means they'll create more episodes, which is what I definitely would want. That show is, I mean, it's funny. I always recommend that show, and for anyone who hasn't seen it and they take my advice and they watch the show, they watch the very first episode of the first season. They ask me, "What in the living hell did you get me to watch? This is the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life." Because you said that, and another guy said the same thing, but each show is different from the previous one. They don't connect. They have an overall theme about technology. I just think it's a really well done show. There's so much you can do with it.
Yeah, it is a well done show.
Yeah, so I mean, some are better than others, but the show as a whole, I think, is a good show, and I would love to see new episodes.
Me too. I mean, I was like that too in the very first, and then when I got to the second one, I went, oh, okay, and I got to the third one. I think because you kind of don't know where they're going with it.
Absolutely. I remember I watched the first episode of Black Mirror, and I was like, John Ford, I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe someone would actually film this. It was absolutely shocking. Thinking about it now, it still is.
Yeah,
it's a crazy show.
It's crazy.
It's so out there. I mean, it makes me want to watch it again. Like,
it makes me want to watch it again too.
I can't believe someone could actually film this and get away with this.
Right.
So again, if anyone out there listening has not seen the show Black Mirror, check it out. I mean, you may think I'm nuts, but and then get past the first episode, because if you're like really religious or something, you may look at that first episode and say, you can go to hell and die.
Yeah, you can. I see. But no, it was very good for somebody who didn't have Netflix before and has it now. I gotta admit, I hope they do come out with more episodes.
Yeah. Speaking of Netflix, have you watched that Daredevil show or no?
Yes, I have. I watched the whole thing.
Oh, so I
was going to save that for our.
We can save it. We can save it for our Netflix discussion.
Yeah, Netflix discussion. That'll be our next podcast, everyone. Yeah. The Netflix one where it will be less tech, more stuff that we watch on Netflix.
More video. That sounds cool.
It's like the ending of this show. But I also wanted to add one thing though. Is that I don't know if you saw this article about why one iPhone fan dumped Android after trying it for 8 miserable months.
I saw it, but I didn't read it. I saw the headline.
Well, everything that he hates about Android is what I like about Android. I mean, literally. But I wanted to write my own article saying 2 miserable years with an iPhone and ran back to Android.
Brandon, we have a website, techpopboom.com. Can't you write articles and post it on that website?
I thought about that. I thought about changing that website. Well, because the limited amount of space, I only got the very basic web page. So I mean,
you can still write little comments on Facebook if nothing else. Although you're very long-winded, so
that would be a hell of a long. Yeah, and I mean the reason why that page is there isn't really like like an Engadget or a CNET or something.
Right. It's more or less just to kind of go check out our shows for anyone.
Yeah, it's for anybody who doesn't want to deal with the whole Facebook thing. I mean, our shows are automatically posted on the very first page, but you get to see our show notes. That's where you'll get to. Yeah, I always put our show notes on the website, so you see what we're looking at while we're doing our show. Because it's actually like that. Our show notes have our links, so Scott can look at the web pages that I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that way you know what I'm talking about. I can talk about what Brandon's going to talk about before he talks about it.
As I'm talking about, he's quickly reading it and saying, okay. Oh, I act like I know it. Oh, I know what I'm back there. Yeah, I want it.
Exactly.
So that's that. So I post those, so you get kind of like the behind the scenes look of Tech Pop Boom if you go and click on that. It's the show notes. So I just post them. I just edit them for the website, but I don't, But no, I just thought I wanted to ask you about that because I was like, oh, Scott's going to love this.
I did see that. That's funny. I saw that. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I kind of added that, but I can't think of anything else at the moment.
I can't think of either. It's been a few weeks since we did a podcast, and I have a long weekend ahead of me. So we're trying to squeeze just one more episode in here, just so anyone who might be interested might just kind of check it out and
I'm trying.
To listen to.
I'm like trying not to I had a lot of things to say over our long break because that's why I'm trying to think of everything before either. Let me see here because our Netflix show. I was gonna talk about that. Our Netflix show, will be. I already said that will be all the. But I'm trying to collect them all. I've watched so far. Okay, here's what I've watched. Okay, so I don't know. So people who want to participate in our Netflix show can watch these two throughout the 2 weeks. Okay, so far, okay. Here's what I've done. So I've done Daredevil. Watched the whole thing back to front. So okay. So I want to talk about that. I did watch. I'm on right now House of Cards. Okay.
See, that one I probably won't watch. I'll be honest with you.
We'll talk about that. Okay. I'm on House of Cards now. Let's see. Orange is the New Black. All of it. So the new ones are coming out when or next month, right?
June, I believe.
June?
Yes.
Okay. Next month. Okay. So I will watch. If we haven't done the Netflix show, then I will watch all the new Orange is the New Black. I did Kimmy Schmidt, which I think we talked about in the last pod. I think we talked about that.
Too.
Okay, so I talked about Kimmy Schmidt. What else is there to watch on there that I don't?
Well, we're obviously going to have to do our homework off the top of our heads.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of made for movies or rather TV shows specifically made for Netflix. We're going to have to go through and make a list and just kind of talk about it, or just maybe even movies that we've watched on Netflix.
Yeah.
We'll just whatever we've watched, whatever.
Have you noticed that nothing's really on Amazon?
Yes, I have. That's why they had those. Remember, we had an Amazon episode. One of those, and they have some. They do have TV shows specifically that you can only watch on Amazon, but they haven't. There's some shows you can watch, but I've already watched them. The problem is they only do 10 shows at a time, and they release them all at once. So after the first 2 months, the hype has kind of gone away, and they don't really have anything ready to release. They need to have more shows available more often, like Netflix. It seems like, okay, here's a new season of this. You like that one? Here's another new one for you. Amazon needs to get on it. If they really want to compete, they need to have more new shows. Like a lot of those shows we talked about on that Amazon episode, I can't wait to watch. But it just takes too damn long.
Because I was just about to ask you, what the hell? The shows that they did, and we had an article, it's posted on our Facebook page, where it said that they were coming up with Amazon shows. That they were coming up with
they probably won't be. I think they said they were going to be released in the fall, which probably won't be till October or later, November. Yeah, you're
right. They did say fall.
So they have to, they have to film them. They got approved, so now they have to film them. So.
You're right.
There are new shows coming, but again, it's a waiting game.
Yeah.
So that's the part that sucks.
Yeah.
But they do have some good shows on there. We discussed that.
Yeah.
So anyone who's interested, go back to one of our Amazon streaming video episodes.
Our Amazon show. Yeah. Go to because they're still there, and I'm thinking, when are they going to watch? When are they going to put the shows back? Because I want to watch on Amazon
they need
too.
And there's other shows that have been released for a long time that only have one season, and they haven't had a follow-up season.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I like about these streaming video services is the original content, the original shows.
Yeah.
And they really need to get on that. Netflix seems like, and even Netflix, I would like to see more out of Netflix, but. They need to be. I would love if they could move a little bit quicker, and maybe even do a couple more episodes. There's 10 to 13 episodes in a season. It doesn't work for me. Maybe it makes the show better, but I'd rather see 20 episodes a season. So that way it lasts longer. Yeah. Maybe even I've seen there's a show, and I haven't watched it. I don't know anything about it, but I read there's a show. It's an original TV show for Netflix. I think it's called Between. And, and instead of releasing, I think I read there's 6 episodes. Instead of them putting them all out there at once, I think they're only going to put out one a week. And I think the premise of the show is everyone, all the adults over, I don't know if it's 16 or 18, they all die, and everyone, anyone in the world, is like under their kids, more or less. So it's almost like Lord of the Flies kind of.
Ooh.
So I haven't watched it. I know nothing about it. I don't even know if it's available yet. But so what my point is, they have this new show that they're not going to release all at once. They're doing one episode at a time per week. That's an idea too. That way, people, they talk about it for a little bit longer. One of the issues with Orange is the New Black is they release all episodes all at once. So again, for the first 2 months, it's, hey, have you seen the new season of Orange is the New Black? And then again, 2 months later, it's like, yeah, I saw it. It's done. Let's move on.
I kind of like that model, though.
I do too. I don't mean to complain because I like it too. But it would be nice just to kind of keep it, interest a little bit longer. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe. I would be happy with more episodes per season.
Because that's why I guess I can't watch Orphan Black, is because I got I'm spoiled by that model of watching the whole thing at one time, and then waiting, because it's just that wait. I rather, or you know what they could do? They could do half 5, and then the other 5 maybe later or something like that.
I don't even know that I want that. I guess I just. Like Game of Thrones is such a good show, but they do a limited. Remember back in the day, like on network TV, they'd have like 20, 22 episodes of a season. Remember when Friends was popular? They had 22, and now it's like when they do a season, it's 13 episodes. What the hell happened?
Oh,
how can it go from 22 to 13?
They got expensive.
Well, no, I understand that, but I mean,
they got expensive to make. I mean,
it'd be nice to be able to watch more content and not have to wait so long to get it.
I think I read an article something about how much Game of Thrones costs to make. I think it costs more than 2 movies or something like that.
Well, I can believe it.
I mean, just the production value alone. I think it's on. I think it's on like a back. The behind the scenes of Game of Thrones or something like that, where they have actually 2 film crews. Okay, 1 film crew over here, 1 film crew film. So they're filming both. I mean, all different parts of the movie all at one time, which I was like, wow, okay, So it's amazing how much production value. I mean, that's why I think it takes so long. It's because of, but it's such good quality though. That's what I think. Okay, we had a phase, like a reality TV phase, okay?
That's over, yeah.
And where everyone was on reality TV, and then networks just said, "Oh my God, it's cheaper. I can pay this guy $10 per episode rather than pay this other person $100,000 an episode, and I can still get the same amount of money." Yeah. So, and I'm glad, and I think Netflix changed the game. To be quite honestly, I think the shows were going downhill. They were trying to do it fast and cheap. They were whatever shows they were doing, like Heroes. Heroes is another example.
Which Heroes is coming back. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I hear that. When is that coming back?
I have no idea. And after the last time, I'm not sure if I'm ready to jump on board.
Me neither. I was disappointed. Like Heroes. Heroes, great episode. I think the writer's strike happened, and then it just went to shit. Totally. They took what could have been a great idea, and they just dragged their feet. It was so slow. Everything you wanted to happen just never happened. And it just was slow, and it's like, when is something good going to happen? Yeah. And they just made you wait, and it was boring, and they really need to do something different. And that's the thing, is that was the old way of how that 20 episodes thing. They were just pushing episodes out. The quality, they were just pushing episodes out just to fill that 20 episode gap, I guess. So I think to have 13, 14 episodes is better. To have good episodes, they have 20 bad episodes.
No, I get that, but these are shows that you wait so long for these shows. It would just be nice to be able to get up, maybe a few more. Just I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I just like to complain.
Yeah, I mean, but that whole model, I love their model. That's why I wish Game of Thrones was like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so dang. But oh well. But I did like the last episode, so I can't wait till the next one.
Yeah, I do too.
But let me see. Do you have anything else? Cause
No, I just want to remind
done.
everyone to check out our website, techpopboom.com. Check out our iTunes. Check out our YouTube page. Check out our Facebook, Google Plus. Search for Tech Pop Boom. Go to your iTunes page. Hit the subscribe button. Again, it'll automatically appear every time a new episode. You don't have to do anything. Just find us once, hit the subscribe button, sit back, and you never have to do anything again other than listen to Brandon and I talk nonsense. So,
yeah. Also, yeah. Subscribe to our YouTube. I think we're the only two.
So it's just like our podcast.
Yeah, just like our podcast. We're only two there. Subscribe to it.
That's not true. That's not true. We heard we got news today that we do have some subscribers.
We do have.
You know,
on our feed, so that's pretty good. That's
very cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, subscribe to that YouTube because the more subscription or the more likes or whatever dislikes we get, the higher we go up on the thing, and the more people can find us. So that's how YouTube works.
We're still working out the bugs. I mean, this show has we're having fun. We are. We're just kind of taking it one episode at a time, and we're just trying to find our place. But we're having fun with it, so we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. We hope you enjoy, and we hope you enjoy this one too, or the next one after that. So, well, I guess I'm out.
All right, Brandon. Had fun. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Peace.
Bye, everybody.